Hello YouTube world, pretend farmer here. Not a real farmer, just pretending. Tonight you're getting a very rare, exclusive view inside the chicken coop at bedtime. It's after dark right now, and I'm out here with a spotlight because it's been icy all day, and the chickens have been too scared to go down their ramp, so they haven't had any food and water the whole day. I thought as a courtesy to the chickens, I would take their feed and their water that normally hangs under the coop, and I would put it up here with a light for them so that they could have an hour or so to eat and drink and catch up on all that they missed throughout this storm we're having today. This brings up a really important topic. Should you keep your feed and your water inside the coop or outside in the run area? That's kind of a really controversial topic because people do it both ways. And generally, it's almost always a better idea to keep your feed and your water outside. Now, if you want to make a little exception when it's really, really cold during the winter, maybe you're having like a super bad cold snap where it's like single digits 1 week. If you want to make an exception, that's not going to hurt if you're talking like a week or something. But long term, not a good idea. You've got possibility of them splashing their water out and making a mess with it. It's going to cause the bedding material to mildew and mold. It'll rot your floor out. Another issue with having feed in the coop is it's going to lure mice to come in. You don't want mice in your coop. You're trying to keep them out. And plus, just overall mess. They're kicking feed out. They're splashing water around. Your coop is going to be a mess. And it's going to be so much easier to actually clean it when it comes time for that if you're leaving the food and the water outside. You can see here, they've had their food in here for one evening this evening to eat. And look at the feed scattered around the floor. They've already made a mess with it. By the way, Colonel Sanders here is starting to get big. And he's even starting to develop some spurs. If you look there, you'll see those little nubs on his ankles. He's getting spurs. He's turning into quite the handsome little rooster. So, like I said, if you want to make a little exception for him during times like this, when you're having a snowstorm or something, and put the food and water in, it's not going to hurt for just a little bit. But year-round to do this, or to do it all winter long, we're talking about a really big mess, and it could potentially lure in some unwanted predators, as well as cause some health hazards for the birds if they are splashing that water out and you've got mold and mildew growing under your bedding. So because of these things, we put our feed and our water outside underneath the coop so it's sheltered from the elements, but yet it's not able to they can't make a mess with it in their coop. And so you ask, well, what are the advantages to keeping it inside? Then there's got to be some kind of pros. Well, of course there is. Your water's not going to be as likely to freeze when it's in the coop. So that right there is a big plus. And also, the problems that a lot of people have with birds and stuff coming in to get their chicken feed during the daytime when it's hanging outside, you won't have that as much if it's in the coop. But really, other than those things, you're better off just to keep the stuff outside. This is the Pretend Farmer. We got a Christmas special program coming up here soon on the Pretend Farm, so make sure you stay tuned. And until then, good night to the chickens. Good night, everybody.